Joined with my second oldest brother, Will. Will, say hello to the What the L crew.
What's up, What the L crew? I'm Will, happy to be here, so we get to talk it up, drop it up today about whatever L has for us.
Will, my dad actually said that he would pay Will $100 to do this, and Will's decided to do that. So I'm very excited that even though there's a little bit of bribery, we still have some knowledge. And me and Will are what, a year and 2 months apart?
A little bit more than that. A year and 4 months, maybe?
A year and 4 months. And you're 23, 24.
23.
Why did it take you a second?
It's just getting to that point. No more big milestones, I guess. Once you turn 21, it kind of...
Yeah, I don't even know
quickly.
what I'm doing for my 22nd birthday. That's the other issue. But do me a solid, guys. Smash that subscribe button on your go-to podcast platform. And if the vibes are right, toss us a review. Your support isn't just wanted. It's what keeps this What the L authenticity train chugging right along. But today, I really wanted to talk to you guys about people-pleasing and FOMO. And I know it might kind of sound like random to just throw Will on this topic, but I don't know. I feel like Will always, to me, has been a very go with the flow and like let things roll off his back kind of guy. So I'm hoping that he can teach us a thing or two about hopefully not struggling with caring about what other people think about you. So like just starting off, Will, do you, like, what is your take on this? Like, do you struggle with people pleasing?
You mean like my friends or just people in general? Or
like your friends, first off.
Not really. People pleasing for my friends, let me think. Like, I feel like we kind of get along. We all have the same common interests, and it's not really like I'm ever trying to make an effort to make anyone happy.
Yeah.
No, I mean, we're not girls, so I know
that's
different
true.
for you guys.
It is different.
But I mean, like, if somebody wants me to go somewhere, most of the time I want to be there as well. So, I kind of do everything I can. If it's somebody's birthday party or whatever it is, trying to get over there and to be there. But as far as only doing, like, going somewhere because someone wants me to, no, that's not.
So, like, you never felt that pressure, like, in high school or, like, in college to do just because to do the things that everyone else was doing?
Yeah, so... I mean, so we had I had like 2 weeks to think about this, kind of, like, since we had this plan a while back, and I got the flu.
Yeah, he's feeling better now. Now I'm feeling ill, but it's fine.
Yeah, but what I was thinking about, like, with FOMO and everything was, the main thing is not so much for me was, like, the fear of missing out or, like, the wanting to be somewhere. It was more that I wanted to be in two places at once. Like, I wanted to be at home, watching Netflix or playing my game, but I also wanted to be out at the party.
I feel the same way.
And it was a equal desire to be two places at once that felt like FOMO, no matter what I did. So, like, do you still, so no matter the outcome, you still felt a sense of, like, anxiety? Yeah, it's not FOMO, it's more anxiety about, like, not being able to experience everything. But that's something you have to come to terms with and just... I feel like right now that's kind of what I'm struggling with, because I am getting to a place in my life where I'm like, it's my senior year of college, I've done the whole party thing, like, I'm kind of over the bar scene, at least in this freaking, in the boot, like, I'm over it. But, I mean... It comes to a point where I'm like, I literally went to, on Saturday night last night, I went to bed at 7:30 because I was tired. But I also had FOMO because my other friends invited me to go somewhere with them to this restaurant and get drinks with them. But I was exhausted, like, I worked that morning, I did a bunch of homework after, and I was just, like, wiped. And I was like, oh my gosh, I want to be in two places at once. So... now that you're saying that, like, how did you get over that? I think it was more about distinguishing whether I wanted to be somewhere or if it was just me, I guess, like, not wanting to miss out, just having FOMO. But there was a way that I had thought about it, I'm trying to think of exactly what it was in my head. It made it real simple. Like, I guess, like, once you figure out, like you had asked, how did I get over that? Once you figure out what you actually want to do, you have to kind of just let everything else go. and you have to think to yourself, like, am I feeling this anxiety or like, this desire to be there because they want me there, or is it because I just want to be in two places at once? And because I noticed, like, for me, like, if we're in Destin on like a family vacation and all my friends are at somewhere, I don't feel any FOMO because my decision's already been made. I can't be there.
Yeah. That's more of a practical way to look at it.
Yeah, it's like it's not up to me anymore to make. It's kind of just the decision is made for you. Whereas I'm happy to do either way.
Right.
Be here or go there, which is like a similar example could be like if I'm at the house and I'm happy to be at the house, or I can go out to the bar with my friends. I'm happy to do either, but I can't decide which one I want to do, so I have anxiety. But I mean, I think just figuring out what you actually want to do and then being okay with whatever else happens it's a tough thing, but that's kind of what's helped me is realizing that part at least.
At what point, like, were you in college whenever you figured that out for yourself, or was this like you were started like your work career?
Yeah, probably more after college, just because you have way less free time. So like every night like means a lot more to at least every weekend night. Work nights have already been decided for me, basically.
Right.
Not going to be going out and drinking on a work night, but like Friday and Saturday night, yeah, it's more about, that's definitely, more about what I want to do versus even though I do want to do two things at once, I still have to be putting myself first in that. And that will take away the anxiety of the decision, of the FOMO, whatever you want to call it, for not being at one of the two places.
So how has this like translated into, because like I've mentioned, Will is post-grad. He is now working as an insurance agent at State Farm.
Yeah.
And like, has this translated, like, so you haven't felt any type of FOMO in the workplace or like type of people pleasing in the workplace? How has that been like?
People pleasing, yeah, that's kind of what I get paid to do, is to like try to make them happy. So that's something that I do all the time. But I think that's not necessarily a bad thing, because everyone else is doing it. We got people coming to the office all the time asking us to send them our business, for their, when they have car accidents or whatnot. We'll send them our customers to them to get their cars fixed. And they're coming in with Caroline's cookies and whatnot to try to persuade us. Yeah. So everybody's people pleasing in the workplace. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just I think it's putting people above yourself is kind of the issue, not people pleasing generally.
Yeah, I guess that, so there's a distinction that needs to be made between people pleasing and putting people above yourself.
Yeah, or before yourself.
So yes, there is people pleasing in your like work. There is like requirement of people pleasing.
That's every business is people pleasing.
Correct.
You go to Albertsons, they're people pleasing. You go because the employees are trying to make you have the best.
Yeah,
the best.
That's true. But like, I want to get deeper. Like, I want to know: do you feel like there's that's all there is to it, or is it a deeper thing than that?
What do you mean?
Like, I'm trying to get at is like, you said that there's a distinction between people pleasing and like putting people above yourself. Like, do you feel like you're putting people above yourself at work?
Like, no. Luckily for me, like, my work stays at work. So it's not very hard to keep it separate, like for my personal life versus work. At least for the time being, with my current job. But like for someone like Dad, that's gonna be hard, like. Because
he's a business owner.
Yeah, he's a business owner, so he's worked, he takes it with him on the weekends and whatnot, and then having the time or the discipline and the awareness, I guess, to separate that is harder, especially whenever it's like, if you're in college, everything kind of blurs together between your classes, especially for like group projects and whatnot. Like if it's something that you've been a semester-long project, it's harder to differentiate or like keep it separate from your personal life to the project.
Right.
Whereas for work, it's very cut and dry for me. It's 9 to 5. That's what I do.
Like 9 to 5, clock in, clock out.
They don't have no one from work. My coworkers have my phone number, but like none of our customers have my phone number. No one that I have any like allegiance to has my number, so it's very easy for me to keep it separate and not I guess, be people pleasing to the point where it's affecting my personal life.
Right.
If that's what you mean.
So I've recognized that Will my whole life. I don't know if it's just like a guy thing, but I feel like significantly Will has always been like good, like I've said, good at letting things roll off your back. And how have you always had like that ability to just like shake whatever off? Like, do you have a certain way of thinking that allows you to just go with the flow? This isn't more about like people pleasing or FOMO. This is just more about like a question in general.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think I was just lucky in that way that I'm just happy to do what I'm doing. You know, I feel like I'm pretty good at staying present and not worrying. I mean, I worry like anybody does whenever there's a big thing coming up, but for the most part, I think I've just been kind of lucky with my mindset on, you know, being thankful, being happy where I am, and just, you know, taking it step by step for everything.
So, do you feel like throughout college, when did you stop? Like, what point in college did you stop having this fear of the fear of other people, what they're doing?
I think, I mean, through college, I kind of felt it. Like, I mean, it wasn't anything crazy. I've been having the same friends for the most part since high school. But, I mean, we always just hung out. It was the same group of us, and we didn't do anything that I could never really make it to. But, I mean, going back to what I was saying, like, it was never really FOMO. It was more just me wanting to be in two places at once for me.
Yeah.
You know?
And do you feel like, just for FYI, Will has had a long-term girlfriend for, like, since sophomore year of high school, and he is 23 now, so I don't know, like 7 years?
Yeah, 8.
8 years, and so I feel like does that have to do with, do you think, you not ever feeling that sense of FOMO? Because I feel like you and Charles, my eldest brother, he also has like the same situation. He's had his high school sweetheart for all of like his adolescence, it seems like. So I'm questioning as like the one who was always the single one on the family trips, like, do you think that was that person that you had allowed you to not have to think about that as much? Or
I think it makes it worse. I think it makes FOMO worse. Because, I mean, if you think about it, like, from a, you know, like a practical perspective, like, sometimes if Izzy's my girlfriend, she's, you know, hey, let's stay in tonight, let's get sushi and watch a movie, or, you know, do whatever, just stay in. And then on the other hand, I got my friends, yeah, let's go to the bar, let's go watch the football game. And then I'm picking sides. And then either way, like I'm saying, I want to do either one. I would be more than happy to hang out with the guys or go hang out with Izzy at home. So either way, I don't want to mess either of them up. You know? So I try to, you know, for example, like in this situation, I'd probably try to get Izzy to come out with the guys, and then get all the guys to get their girls to come out. So it's just a bigger group. But that doesn't always work, and it's not always, you know, what we're going for. So I mean, it just turns into, either way, you can't please everybody. So you have to just go with what you want to do, and then let the pieces fall where they may. Yeah,
and like, so who for you, like, who are the most important people in your life? Like, if you had to make a list of like people that you want to please, like top 3. This is just for my personal.
Yeah.
I just want to know.
Who I want to please? I mean, for right now, probably my boss.
Valid.
Izzy, and mom and dad. I mean, 2 of them. So, I mean, that's 4, but no particular order there, but I think that's pretty normal.
Yeah, I'd say so. That was just for my own, just wanting to know.
Yeah.
But, so, people pleasing. Say that you did struggle with it, and like, you say that you're me, and you're still in college, and I think I've definitely gotten like a better grip on my, what is the word? Struggles with people pleasing, but I still definitely, I don't know if I struggle more with people pleasing or FOMO, because I feel like they kind of tie.
They do.
But like, I know they tie together, but like, I can't explain why they tie together. Like, how do you know that they tie together?
I think like I'm saying, like I was saying earlier, it gets confusing whenever it turns into, are you afraid of not being there, or are you afraid they will be mad at you for not being there?
For me, I feel like I'm afraid of missing out. I'm afraid of missing out, and I feel like you're afraid of disappointing two people, like two different
disappointing
groups.
Aside. Yeah, which is that's a different thing. That's, because
like
a hard distinction to make though.
Yeah, because for me, like I've only always been like, okay, what am I doing? It's not like what are me and Izzy doing, but
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Like,
because it's like you're spoken for, kind of. I don't know, but also like I've always had like a best friend with me doing stuff. So I mean, at the same time, but that's not the same thing. That's like a little bit different. But for me, like I've always struggled with trying to be okay with that I'm not there, or like sometimes that what if I wasn't invited? And like, did you ever have a moment where you like weren't actually included in a situation, and like did it, like how did you, was it like recently, like has it happened in like college, in the workplace, like what?
Yeah, I mean, you just roll with the punches and just, it's still it's my same friends still. It's but I mean, like I know in my heart, like if it was practical to have everybody there, then everybody would be there and everybody would be invited. But like the reality is, not everyone can always be at everything.
Yeah. And so how did you like learn to be okay with not everyone is going to be where you want them at the time that you need? Like that you can't have everything simultaneously. Like you can't be in two places at once. Yeah, you have to just try to do your best. I mean, you're not always going to make the right decisions in terms of like, should I do this or should I do that? It's really not a huge deal. It feels a lot bigger than it is. Like what should I do on Saturday night? It's not. I know it doesn't actually matter. Yeah.
It feels important, but it's really, in the moment it feels important anyways. But just being happy where your feet are is like probably.
That's a good thing that Mom always says.
Yeah.
Like being happy, like go with your feet.
Yeah, just be where your feet are and just. Try to enjoy no matter what decision you make the best of it, and don't second guess yourself. Yeah.
Have you ever had like a moment of where telling FOMO to take a hike and it turned out to be way more epic, like where you just, the joy of missing out? Like have you ever experienced like a J.O.M.O moment?
Not really, but there's okay, so like for example, the other day, me and all my friends went to, like that's not always a bad thing. Like,
and I feel like seeing it the other way is
that hasn't happened to me, but it happened to one of my friends. We went to Crowley to go play golf. It's like 40 minutes from here, and we're gonna start at like 7 a.m. And turns out we get there, they have a tournament going we didn't know about. So one of my friends had slept through everything, and he made a big joke about, like, it's still going on to this day, about how he got out of it, dodged the bullet, whatever. So it's like not always a bad thing. Bad stuff does happen whenever you're out,
Yeah.
And it's just more dangerous. But no, I never had a moment where I was like, I mean, if I stayed home instead of going out, I'm sure I had a good time that night, every night. But it was never like I was overjoyed, that I didn't go. Like, I mean, like, God forbid something bad would happen, when my friends were out.
Yeah.
There's a shooting or whatever the case may be. Like, that would be something that I would be overwhelmingly relieved that I didn't go for, especially if people were hurt.
Yeah. Do you feel like this is also kind of off topic, but I just want to see where you fall, because I feel like we're slightly similar, but also like, I don't know. Do you think you're extroverted or introverted?
I think I'm a good balance.
Because that's what I said too. But like, I want to hear.
Yourself?
Yeah, like, but like, continue on with that. Like, give me more.
Like I don't really like Mom, she will just walk up to people and start talking. Yeah. I don't do that, because I don't really care, and I feel like I'm bothering other people.
Yeah.
Regardless. But I mean, like, I'm happy to just not say anything. But if there's someone that is new and I'm trying to make them like feel included or, welcomed, then I feel like I'm good at doing that, like making small talk with people. I think that's more of it. I'm probably more of like a natural introvert, but I have the ability to speak to new people in a way that's not uncomfortable for them or for me.
I feel like that's a good way
to make it normal.
Yeah, I feel like that's a really... So, like, would you say that you're, like, ambiverted?
I don't know what that means, but if it's something in the middle...
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it should be, if it can be applied to that term, but I don't know. I just feel like ambidextrous, you know that word? Like being left-handed, right-handed, or whatever. So that just makes me think that you can be like...
Oh.
Like an ambiverted introvert, extrovert. I don't know. Anyways, but switching gears, relationships and boundaries. How do you navigate setting limits with friends or family? I mean, we have a crazy family. I'm sure you can say that, but like in a good way. But also, like, how do you set those boundaries and like say no or say yes whenever it's necessary? Because I feel like you were always better at saying no than I was.
Yeah, I mean, what do you mean? Like, can you give me a more specific example, like for saying no or for saying yes?
Like whenever somebody, for instance, hopefully Mom's definitely gonna listen to this episode, but I'm gonna say this anyways. Like if Mom asked you to go get the grocery order from Albertsons, and you had stuff to do, and like you had an exam or something coming up, and you don't have time, like you just don't have the time right now. How did you, like, did you ever, like, I know because you used to feel like I was moving away. Whenever I was at LSU, he was like in the place where I kind of am now, because like our mom works from home, so she needs like quiet.
She needs help though, and yeah, so basically she needs a lot of help around the house, you know, getting everybody fed. We got a lot of animals.
Yeah, like 4 kids.
You know, the washer, she doesn't stop moving. So yeah, I mean, to be honest, like, I never really told her no that often. I would just kind of do what she did, bite my tongue, and just because I know it had to be done, and she would have done it herself if she can.
Yeah.
But I mean, there are times like where there's a good reason for me not to be able to do whatever is necessary from someone in the family. But if that's the case, then there's a good reason to not be helpful. Because if I want something done for me and I'm asking the family, I want them to be able to, someone to be able to step in and help me out. Whether it's like, you know, like you did the other night, give me a ride to whoever's house.
Yeah.
Even though like you
I woke up from
you probably didn't want to do that. Yeah. That's the, you know, just kind of what makes everybody's life easier is whenever you have small favors that are done for each other. And then if there is a good reason to not do it, then, I mean, by all means, it's fine. You know?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I just feel like, well, maybe not in the family aspect, but I feel like I remember you vaguely saying, like, because I remember, Mom, if you listen to this, don't be mad, but I was, like, confiding in Will about it because I was like, I feel like I'm kind of like what I said, Mom's bitch right now. Like, I'm struggling to say all, like, do all the things that need to be done, and, like, because he was like, well, at one point, like, I kind of was just like told her no and that I couldn't do it, and I don't know, that was kind of like a huge thing for me because like I never really thought of like the possibility of saying no to my parents.
Yeah, saying no to family is probably like
like saying no, because I always felt this innate need to like please, especially my family. And so like if I don't like ever don't want to be a disappointment to my family, so like whenever he said like you can say no every now and then, like he didn't say like say no to her every single day, just like if you have stuff to do, like you can, there's times when you can like stand up for yourself.
Yeah, and my mom will understand.
Yeah, and like I felt like that was kind of a door opener for me because that kind of like made me realize that like, okay, parents are just people, and like we're all trying, and I think I kind of put them on like a little bit of a pedestal a little bit until like up until a certain point. Did you?
Yeah, I mean, always. I still probably have them on a pedestal. Like, I mean, I love Mom and Dad, but it's not like they're not controlling to me in any way, and they, you know, respect my space, and
yeah.
So, I mean, I don't have any problems with the way things are with them now, or really ever for that matter. And we never really had problems. Is there more that you wanted me to say? Like,
I don't know. I just felt like during that time,
like what, like your college time, or
no, like during whenever I was away at LSU, like I just felt like you said you were picking up all the slack since I was gone.
Yeah.
And I just remember calling you about that.
Yeah.
And just asking you about it. But I mean, if you, like, when did you, do you have any strategies? Okay, so maybe if you don't feel like you have a need to say no to mom and dad, like, do you have any strategies or mindset shifts that you have found effective in saying no without feeling guilty or anxious? Like, if it is with mom or dad, like, if you are saying no to them, like, what do you do whenever you need to say no, but without, like...
Yeah, no, I mean, that's a hard thing, because you can't really control how you're feeling about after you do something, but typically that's a good, like, gut check for you, you know, like, if you're saying no to something that you should be saying yes to, typically you'll feel guilty about it or anxious.
That's true.
You know, like, if you know deep down that you should be saying yes to something, but you're saying no, then you're feeling bad about saying no, that's probably because you should have said yes, and you know you should have said yes.
Damn. R.I.P. I feel like that's usually how it is whenever I text you about something.
Yeah.
I'm like, Will, should I have done this? And then he obviously is gonna be like, you're texting me about this because you know you shouldn't have.
Should or shouldn't have. Yeah. So no, there's no way to, like, get rid of the guilt of saying no whenever you know you should have said yes.
Okay, but like, what if you shouldn't have said